Stress Talk 414, Load Legend in the building. Back at you one more again. Today we talking about group economics. We talking about the importance of working together. You know what I'm saying? The importance of coming together, pooling our money together, and putting resources in our community that we actually need. You know what I'm saying? Group economics is the one thing that I see that our race is lacking. We don't work together. We need to work together more. And for those that's gonna come behind me and say, yeah, we do work together, you know, see this and do that. Well, I've been in business since 1993, and from what I see, and I've been around all different type of businessmen from all different walks of life, and it's hard to get us to come together. We will sit down and talk about ideas, but we won't manifest those ideas together. And I think that's very important. It's very important to get back to group economics. I remember when I grew up, going up and down Atkinson Street, there was nothing but black-owned businesses. On top of that, my family owned black-owned businesses. So we had multiple grocery stores and real estate and restaurants, and we had various different things. So I was able to see what it looked like for group economics for us to work together. I worked in the store. My mother worked in the store. My uncle worked in the store. My father worked in the store. We owned stores. So group economics is very important to eradicate poverty. That's how we get back to being strong again and getting back to being in control. We have to finally agree to disagree. One of the things that I see in business that hinder us is that African American people, we are still up under the Willie Lynch Act. We're up under the Willie Lynch syndrome, and it's working today. It said in that Willie Lynch letter that if you send this letter out and you implement this on all the plantations, you would be able to control Negroes for 400 plus years. And that Willie Lynch letter that they wrote is still working today, because it's hard for us to come together. I could paint a few scenarios inside retail locations. So over my lifetime, I have owned a lot of retail locations. This is a retail location. This is a brand. The gas station, dispensary is a brand. This is a retail location you see right here. This is Stress Talk 414. This is a movie that I'm bringing out. It's called Granny's Web. It's about my grandmother caught in Granny's Web. This is Love Me Long Time Sex T, and this is a character that I created on TikTok called Pimpin' Munchie. So these is a couple things that I got going on. But back to what I was talking about, group economics. Being at a young age and being able to expose to all these type of things, then you able to understand what group economics look like and how it is to work together. So one of the things that I wanted to say, being in a retail location and being in business for the time I've been in business, this is what I noticed from us. When people that look like us come inside the business, because of that Willie Lynch letter and that consciousness, and the people don't understand that what they did to us, they did a number on black folks, and they got us broke apart so they can control us. So they did a number on us. And I can just use this from an analytical standpoint, just for me in the retail locations. When African American people come through the door and they see another African American person either in control or ownership or management or whatever it may be, they retract. They retract. And I don't know why. I don't know why. My theory on why we retract when we see another black person, I believe it's something that's in our DNA. The reason why we do that, I believe it's something that we don't even understand. I think that Willie Lynch shit and how they broke us apart, I think that's why we do that. I could give you a scenario. You could bring 10 people from other nationalities inside the business, and they will just openly free, come through, browse, and buy exactly what they want, no problem. And then you could get same 10 of the African American people, and they will come in and they will look and look and look and look and look and ask a bunch of questions, and you know, compare to this and compare to that, come with all kind of crazy different things to ultimately say that they don't want it, they get it somewhere else, or they ultimately want it for nothing. So I don't know if that's psychologically attached to what we've been through as a society as a whole, of what they did to us in America, or I don't know what it is, but I see it every day. Most people that come in this inside my businesses look like me, they don't spend any money. I mean, it's analytical. I mean, people don't want to hear the tough stuff. The tough stuff is that when 3, 4, 5, 6 of people that say they care about me, 7, they come in here that don't spend any money. They come to browse, check the inventory, talk to you about shit, see how you doing, but they don't come inside a business and utilize a business as what it's used for. That's like me coming to your chicken restaurant and not buying chicken. Like, you sell chicken, right? If I don't eat chicken, then I maybe buy me a soda, or maybe I'll buy me I don't know, I'll buy whatever else you got besides chicken. You know, maybe I'll buy me some fries. You know, something. I'll figure out a way to patronize. But that's just me understanding economics, understanding how important group economics is, understanding how important it is to spend 10% of your disposable income with somebody that look like you. I'm conscious of that. I believe 10% of your disposable income, meaning the money that you fuck off, that you throw off the window, 10% of that money should be spent with somebody that look like you in some kind of way. I don't care if it's your neighborhood mechanic, hardware store, burger joint, seamstress, tailor. I don't care what it is, but 10% of your money should be spent with somebody that look like you, because that's very important. That's part of group economics. That's part of getting back to having shit. That's part of getting back to generational wealth. That's part of getting back to some of our control. Because like I said, I remember in the day where we had all the black owned businesses. Now all the businesses have turned over, and we will never get them back. We sold out in those days for money, and I understand why we sold out too, but that's a whole nother thing. We sold out for money that we probably would have never seen unless we stuck it out and stayed through the course of the action. But black folks was offered money by the Middle Easterns in amounts that they had never seen before. So they took it and ran with it. Most of them was older guys, so they, worked at A.L. Smith and all these type of places. So they went on and, and got out the way. But it's a much deeper, thing right now. We're paying a high debt to society because of our people gave up these things and sold these things. And we got to have a certain mentality to even think about buying these resources back in the community, because we have to ask ourselves, why is it even important to young black Americans to want to even buy real estate and buy these things and bring it back to the community? The same resources that, they're bringing to the community, that's our community, why aren't we not providing them? And the easiest way to provide these type of resources in our own community is group economics. Sometimes we got to get to the hard truth to get to the truth. We can't keep dancing around. People want to be pacified. And I know people is going to absolutely hate what I said when I said that black folks come into business and they open up their wallet just like this. Other nationalities, I don't want to highlight one nationality or another, but I know that other nationalities come inside the business, that you provide a service or a product. If you provide that service or that product well, they patronize the business, they get exactly what they want, and they gone. They don't try to minimize, to maximize anything. Even when I first started coming up out of the inner city and putting businesses out in other places, I started noticing that I brought that inner city mentality with me. Like, I would ring people up and be like, it'd be like 75-10. I'd be like, just give me 60. And they'd be like, I don't understand. And people be like, just swipe the card. You know, so I had to understand that everybody doesn't have that struggle, poverty mindset. You know, and when you see another brother, why you retract? When you see another brother, you're supposed to form group economics with them, and you form a conglomerate, which ultimately becomes a powerhouse. I mean, that's how you would think. But I know that we're not trained to think like this. So somebody has to instill it in you. And somebody has to bring this out of what they call our blind. Because you bring it out of your blind. And the blind is what? It's something that somebody sees in you that you don't see in yourself. And I'm going to be the one to say it. I know I might get slandered about it. But when my people come inside my business, they don't spend any money. They just come and check the inventory. I don't know what else to say. I'm just being honest about it. Stress Talk 414. Tap in. We got so much to talk about.